guys, just wanted to share a little journal that I've made for my Etsy shop, and it's a little mini journal in a box, and I picked this box up from the op shop. I always pick up little boxes. I also got this one at the same time, and that one I was thinking of, I don't know, it looks like a treasure chest to me, but this one, it had an elephant on it, and I really love elephants, and I thought I would just make a teeny tiny little elephant journal to go in it. Usually when I pick up little boxes like this, I kind of want to do like a complete altar on it, like a complete transformation, but since this one had the little flowers carved into it and the elephant, I thought I'll just keep it as is and I'll make it an elephant journal. Well, an elephant journal in a box. So I've painted this, and I can't tell you what colour I've painted because I mix my own colours. I don't really have a lot of different coloured paints. I just make up concoctions myself. So this was, I think, a little bit of rose, some crimson red, burnt umber, little black. But anyway, I wanted it to have kind of a dark cherry wood finish. The before colour was quite orange, a bit of a bright orange, and I'll insert a picture of what it looked like before I painted it here. Okay, so that's what it looked like before, and this is the after. So once I went over it with my reddish colour, then I went over it with a coat of black gesso, and then, you know, paint it, wipe it down with a baby cloth, and just keep building up the colours until you like the finish. I think it looks a little brighter on camera than it is in real life. It's quite dark in real life, which is what I wanted it. I wanted it quite dark. Then when that was dry, I just went over it with a coat of matte varnish, like actual wood varnish, not like a craft varnish. Anyway, I think it turned out super cute. So inside, now it's a bit of a tight open, so I didn't paint the inside because, yeah, it needed a little bit of repair. So you can see a little bit of glue. And I didn't want to paint the inside because, yeah, this is quite a tight fit as it is. And the wood is a little bit chipped. And there's my little journal, snug inside. And he's teeny tiny, I love him. So to give you some a sense of size, this is just 13 centimeters long by 8 centimeters wide. So it's only teeny tiny, which means the journal inside is even smaller. But I've left enough room at the top so you can easily pull him out. And that's how big he is. That's in the palm of my hand. So the little journal is actually only just 8.5 centimeters long by 5 centimeters wide, and his little spine is 2 centimeters. So the fabric I've used is, it's upholstery fabric, so it's really thick and textured. It's really nice. And I used a grey, well, I suppose because elephants are grey and rough. And I've put teeny tiny little book corners, which I thought was kind of cute because the book's so little. It's held together with a leather strap. Sorry, it's just a piece of leather cord, not strap. And I've left it long. If you want to chop it down, you can. On here, I've just got some, I don't know what it is, kind of like a crocheted trim. It was actually cut off a scarf, and underneath is some brown, like netting fabric. Then I've just put a teeny tiny little doily, and this is actually an elephant charm. Now, I couldn't fit the elephant charm dangling off the side because, well, it's so narrow as it is. I didn't want to make the book even more narrow by putting a charm on the side, you know, allowing for room for a charm. So I've put the charm on the front, and it was very, very silver. So I've just rubbed over it with some black gesso and then wiped it back with a baby wipe, just to, you know, get some black into the little crevices. So it gives it a bit more definition when you do that. Anyway, I think he's super cute. That's the side. It's got 2 signatures. There's the back and the front. And this just ties shut. And I've wrapped it around because I've left the leather cord quite long. I don't know how I'm going to do a flip through of this because it's so teeny tiny. Okay. So, it's got an elephant image there. It's just a mix of different little papers. Some book page, coffee dyed papers. It's just out of a map. This is some coffee dyed map, quite heavy. This is a tea bag, and inside is a little tag. That's just manila. It's just blank on both sides. I can't turn the pages, it's so little. Some lined paper. This is a, it's a map, but it was out of, like a travel guide, I think, like a hiking guide. And that's actually the center of the first signature. So the stitching is down in the center, and inside is just a little tag. And this string on top, when you cut this material, it's like all woven threads, so it's easy to pull long strands of thread off the side. So this was just one of those threads on top. This here, it's just like a little collage. This underneath is actually, let me show you. I should have got it for you. Sorry. This is actually off a palm frond. So when the palm trees lose their big, you know, fronds, it's like the branch with the leaf on it. The leaf, you know, the big leaves. Down the bottom, the bit that attaches the whole frond to the trunk is this nice woody paper. And we've got some palms in our backyard, so like teeny tiny ones. So I always pull this bit off because it's really nice to use in collages and mixed media and stuff like that. So that's just a little bit of palm frond underneath. and a little bit of crocheted lace trim on top. It's a bit of scrap fabric with some, I think that's raffia, and just some eyelash trim and a little heart. And this little journal, he's completely made of 100% recycled materials, apart from glue and the little metal book corners and one staple, which I can't avoid. Oops, am I focused? These map pages, I had coffee dyed some maps for my Etsy shop, and it had been really rainy or windy or something that week, and so I did them in the oven, but there were a few pages I burnt. So those ones I've just been cutting down and using them. Another picture of an elephant. This was meant to be the front page because I liked this picture better than this one, but when I sewed the signatures in, I put the second signature first. So this was meant to be the first signature, but this one's still cute. I just like this one better. Isn't he beautiful? I love elephants. Little book page. More of my burnt maps. This little clip is, I don't know, it's some sort of clip to hang pictures or something. I'm not completely sure. I just found a packet at Bunnings. It was in the, you know, they have that little area where they're trying to get rid of stuff and they just mark the packet down. Oh, so this as well is not recycled, because I did buy that new from Bunnings. And yeah, they had this packet for like 50 cents or something, so I thought I can use them somehow. But they're too wide, so I have to squish them down with the pliers just to make them hold. And inside is that's some coffee dyed papers, and this is just cut out of a dictionary. It's just got elephant and a little image of an elephant. It was too big to actually glue that into the book, so I just did it as a little journal card, and I've attached it with this little clip, so he just tucks in there. That was some sort of timetable. Oh, this was drop paper. I was painting some netting with bronze and gold, and this was the page underneath, so the white lines was where the netting was. And this is the middle of the second signature, and inside is another little tag, same as the first one. It's just a little collage of, this is actually a bit of material from a painting drop cloth, like a proper painting drop cloth, you know, when you paint your house. I've been ripping up my husband's one and using it as lining for insides of journals, and because it frays so nice. Like, look at the fraying, it's so gorgeous. And a little bit of the crocheted trim off a tablecloth, and this here is some sort of little, it's not a coin, but it looks like a little coin. It had a drilled hole already. It came in a broken jewellery bag from the op shop, so I've tied it on with some string and just pop that there, and you can, there is a little image on there, but I'm too blind to make out what it is. I think It's a bumblebee or something, but I can't tell. Oops, too high. I actually love how the burnt maps look. Funny enough, this paper, it didn't even turn out brittle when I burnt them. But look how gorgeous it is. I love it. And this here, just made a teeny tiny tag out of that drop paper. And a little pocket, just with a scrap of coffee dyed paper, a little bit of fabric, or I think it was like a crocheted lace, and a button with some string through it. And he just goes in there. And the cover is made from a medicine box, and it's lined with, I don't know what this fabric is. It kind of feels like a suede or something like that, but it's a dark brown. I don't know if you can tell on camera. Anyway, that's my little teeny tiny journal. I really love how he turned out. And if you think making little journals is quicker and easier, if you're learning how to start, if you're learning to make journals and you think, oh, I'll just start with a little teeny tiny journal, yeah, don't. Just make a regular size journal, because it's actually a lot more work to make little journals, because they're so teeny tiny. You have to cut all your papers up and you know, try and think of what you can fit in there and stuff like that. But anyway, that's my little journal, and I hope you like him. And he fits back in there just perfect. Anyway, this little guy, he'll go into my Etsy shop sometime shortly after this video. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.